Oh, okay. I'll just walk right into him. That's fine. All right. Shwoof. All right. I think the word is not devil spawn, but sinister. I'm gonna go use the bathroom, and then I'm gonna come back and try to do an actual run. So I'll be back in just a minute. Did you suggest that I have fun going to the bathroom? I mean, not that. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but fun is not really the word I would use. All right. All right. Is this all set up? Okay. Let's go. So, Link belongs to a series of violent anti-royalists, and so what's happening here is that his uncle is leaving to set up a mission where he's doing his part uh, as the first phase of a mission in which we're going to kidnap the princess. Um, Unfortunately, so we're supposed to go in. It's one of those don't leave for 15 minutes. If you don't hear from me in an hour, I'm dead kind of situations. But then we walk over here to penetrate the castle. And unfortunately, it turns out that our uncle has totally failed and has made no progress. Um, Fortunately, whatever killed him, which it's unclear because, there's nothing nearby, but whatever killed him allowed him to keep his sword and shield. So we get those, and now we have to go in and brave the castle defenses to capture the princess from Hyrule Castle. Fortunately for us, the guards are bumbling idiots. About half of them will chase an intruder if they notice him. The other half won't even bother chasing you if they do see you. Yeah, a cab. Um, uh, and sometimes they're just looking the wrong way. Like that guy, he wasn't great at his job. Like he was looking towards the door that's locked rather than the door that anyone could just walk in at any time. But for his crimes of trying to protect the princess from intruders, he has to be murdered. They're really just trying their best. That's not how you're supposed to do that. My cat appears to have just woken up and decided that now is when he would like attention, rather than any of the other part of the day when I was awake and he was not interested in attention. That guard we let off easy, we just stun him. This guy, however, has a prize that we need for our kidnapping mission. Now, the princess, of course, tries to scream when you get close. But we murdered so many people along our way here that no one can hear her. Oops. Of course, what I'm describing, I just think it's funny to do this little bit because all the text is in Japanese. The plot really, of course, is that she's been kidnapped by an evil wizard who killed her father, the king, and is converting the kingdom to an evil world for, on behalf of the bad guy of the game. But since you can't read any of the text, and it really does look for all the world like we're, sabotaging a castle to kidnap the princess, I think it's a way funnier interpretation. Yeah. Like that wizard guy who split in 3 parts that I was practicing against a minute ago. That's like the chancellor guy who kidnapped the princess, and you'll see him again later, assuming I make it that far. He has her in like suspended animation, and in order to break the seal between the good world and the evil world and spread evil across everything. The whole bit kind of falls apart when you get in about 2 minutes from here, when you get to the end of this segment, because you actually take her to the priest in the church and he's like, thank you, and then he gives you a magic heart and stuff. I don't need that heart, but I'm scared. Oh. Mm-hmm. Wow, I've never seen that snake go up that high. And all the text here where I was saying she's screaming about how you're kidnapping her, she's actually saying stuff like, we need to go to the first floor, I know a secret passage to safety, and like, we're almost to the end of the tunnels, we'll be in the sanctuary soon, and stuff. It's like a very normal kids game plot. Priests can be part of the resistance. In this case, though, what they're resisting... I mean, in this case, the princess is part of the resistance, too. We're all on the same side. The guards aren't even really bad guys, right? Like, they think they're doing the right thing. They've been brainwashed by the evil wizard or whatever. But then, just following orders isn't really a great excuse. Out of my way. I think that as an institution, the cops are doing worse than just following orders. Certainly plenty of bad stuff falls under that heading, but I think a lot of them are more malicious than can be excused even as just following orders. So here, if you were playing the game normally, you would like go into the nearby village and talk to the old wise man who tells you where these 3 like magical artifacts are that you need to reclaim in order to prove your worth as the hero of time and rescue the world and all this shit. But of course, I just know all that stuff, so we're just gonna go over here and grab the one from the Eastern Palace. Ugh. Oh, please. How? This is going very poorly. I'm drinking Diet Coke. I am nearly continuously drinking Diet Coke. Is it like is the drinking sound like really obnoxious on the mic? I could like mic it. I don't again, I haven't really listened to enough of my own recording to see how the sound is. The bouncy dudes are they are pretty cool, and there's really big versions of them coming up in a couple minutes that you might also enjoy. Okay, good. Yeah, there's a lot of skeletons in this game. With the exception of the guards in the castle, and you see the guards in a few other places around, but most of the monsters in this game are just like sort of weird stuff like that. I mean, there's some stuff like skeletons and mummies, but a lot of them are like these guys up there that you can see with his eye closed. Oh my gosh. A lot of them are just sort of like weird, fantastical nightmares. Very few of them are actually human or humanoid even. Or these weird like anemone looking things. I think they're called popos. Ah. Oh, please pick the pot up. Wow. I never do that room right. That went really well. And then this is a disaster. But yeah, these are the like big fuck off versions of the bouncy guys. You actually see them again later unless I die too much and get frustrated and don't make it there. But very close to the end, you see the same fight, except that everyone's on ice. They do kind of look like Meta Knight, yeah. They don't really have wings, but otherwise, yeah. So, see this old guy here? Do you think that he is bald with gigantic ears, or do you think he's just wearing a cowboy hat? Oh, oops. I feel like a slippery sword fight has that sounds sexual to me. Viking helmet with horns. Yeah, I can buy that too. The horns like at the side and a little bit more than I guess I normally picture them. But I can see that. It begs the question of how Vikings made it into this universe, but you know, nothing else here makes sense, so I can live with that. And now, as part of our anti-royalist mission, we're burning books. We're not burning them, we're just taking them, I guess. They never what? You know, I feel like that sounds familiar that they never, or maybe they'd like, maybe they were ornamental and not like actually used in battle, or maybe it was just like, I don't remember if it was that or if they were totally made up by some other culture. Something like that sounds very, very familiar. That guard was so incompetent that I stabbed him with my sword, and it took like a minute to notice that that had happened. Oh, very smooth overworld. Well, until I forgot to dash. Then here's the Sarlacc. I have no idea what they're actually called in this game, but they always remind me of Sarlaccs from Star Wars. Oh, were the Viking helmets an opera thing? Oh, that's interesting. I do associate them with opera too, now that you say it. But maybe that's just because of Bugs Bunny, actually. Nice cannonballs. Nice cannonballs. This desert is going very well so far, which means that something bad is destined to happen. Okay. I hate that BMS. Oof. I always think that red guy's gonna catch me. Alright, so now we get to the weird earth worm, jumping worm room. Oh my gosh, good work. Did one of them die? Did I kill one and just not notice it explode? What? Huh. Okay, well. That wasn't actually good, but I'll take it. Oh, right, I meant to add a slot to my splits. Alright. Okay. Or at least they didn't hit me. Please dash. I don't even really know what you're supposed to do if that pickle gets in your way. I always just kind of run into him and deal with the... Just like, don't deal with it, I guess. Just take the damage. There's probably like some clever way to get around it. Tremors. Isn't that a movie? Come on. Here's yet another old man that we have to escort. This is like the fourth-ish old man we've run into in like half an hour, 20 minutes. Oops, not supposed to shoot that arrow. Your uncle's kind of old, and then you kill Aghanim, and then... Or no, you don't kill Aghanim yet. You talk to Sosrala, you talk to this old man, you talk to your uncle, kill Aghanim in a little bit. It's a lot of old men dispensing items in this game. Yeah, so actually, wow. So these these boulders are totally random and just can screw you so much. Yeah, you're supposed to drown. There's an item that we get a little later called the flippers that lets you swim, and you're supposed to drown without them. But if you drown and move screens, like transition between screens at exactly the same time, then instead of drowning, the game is just like, okay, I guess you can swim for a minute now. And lets you swim. I'm not supposed to switch weapons here. And the problem is that if you like mess up, if you get hit while you're doing that, while you're pretending that you have flippers but you actually don't, the game screws up really badly and just locks you forever. They are, many people who play this game refer to them as cabbages. They really look like cabbages, but they are supposed to represent boulders. Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. Whatever. I gotta learn that strat or stop trying it. Screwed it up again. Just gonna stop. So the idea is that if you're like stand in the right place and throw the boomerang and do all that stuff right, you can get over here on this side of the blocks while they're up, and then you like don't have to do anything. The tiles will just run into the blocks and not hit you, and then the switch is correct for the next room. But if you mess it up, you just have to hit the switch again, and it would waste a bunch of time, and there's no reason to try it if I'm just gonna screw it up. Oof, nice. Okay, second tries the charm. I'll try not to die again. I would not be surprised if I died again before this run was over, but oh, I got it. But probably not in here. Yeah, when they shatter and they kind of fly about a little bit, yeah. The oh my god. You dick. The art of this game in general is really quite good. Obviously, it's incredibly limited because of the limitations of the system, but I think for within its constraints, it's really, really a nice looking game. Thank you. I'd still rather not die, though. Oh, that's not where I'm supposed to... Whatever, going the long way. Okay, I might die here. I did not anticipate getting hit twice by those Moldworms, and so I didn't hit the safety switch. And so now I cannot get hit by this guy at all without dying. So I'll have to be careful. Okay, wrong way. So good. So far, so good. And then he goes fast. And one of us has to die. Oh, holy shit, I can't believe that hit my sword instead of my face. Whew. That was stressful. Okay. So dying, as it turns out, costs a lot of time, which is why we try not to do it. It's also actually not allowed in this category. Kind of. Like, you're not allowed to save and quit in this category because it kind of lets you warp around the world. And you're supposed to sort of, quote-unquote, play fair in this category. But dying does exactly the same thing. And in dungeons, it gets you a heart refill. And so you're actually not allowed to die on purpose. But, like, my death there was very obviously not on purpose because it cost me, like, a minute. It was not advantageous to me in the least. So that's no big deal. Yeah. It's funny because your own bombs do hit you, but like everything else that explodes doesn't. Or like almost everything else that explodes. Like monsters turn into like 5 minutes of gigantic explosions and doesn't hurt you. There's like a double-sized bomb later that explodes, like makes an explosion like 5 times as big as Link is, and it doesn't hurt you. But your own bombs do for some reason. Nope, come on. There's all the cute animals that we get to see. Actually, that's not true. We get to see cute animals for a short time later. Yes, got him. Uh, what? I genuinely don't understand why that gave me green rupees. There's clearly something that I am missing about rupee trees, because this is what I expected, right? You kill 4 or 5 enemies, you get red rupees. And nothing hit me, I'm still at full hearts, so I genuinely do not know what just happened there. Alright, so now that we have the Master Sword, we can go back into the castle and so when you're playing this game like casually the first time, it sort of tricks you into thinking this is the end. So you're like, you finally have the Master Sword, which is like the Sword of Legend, and you can go up here, and if you had been playing normally, you would have probably explored and found this door that you couldn't get into, and this is where the evil wizard who captured the princess is hiding. And that gate can only be broken by slashing it with the Master Sword. So now we get to climb up here and fight sort of the boss of the light world. Oh right, I don't want that held up. Rupees hide in bushes and stuff. They sure do. The thing is, the red rupees are worth 20 rupees, and those are pretty rare. But this game has a weird and kind of neat feature where there are these trees and a few other kinds of non-tree things that you can pull on. And like depending on how good you've done at fighting since the last time you pulled one of them, you get a different reward. And the reward for pulling a tree and then killing 4 or 5 enemies and then not getting hit and pulling another tree is 80 rupees, which is a lot. Like you can see it up at the top, I only have 120 rupees total. And we need 110 rupees here in a minute to pay a monkey to open a dungeon for us. So it's the easiest way to get all the rupees you need. Or actually, it's not the easiest way. It's the fastest way. You can also just get them from some chests, but it's slower. I thought that was going to kill him. Oops. Okay. Well, that was a disaster. I wouldn't call that room quite a disaster, but it's not what I was hoping to do. A little bit later, you'll see us raid an abandoned house and a cellar for another 600 rupees. Oh right, yeah. So that guy Aghanim there, he's the one doing all this mean capture-y stuff to the princess. We were trying to protect her from him. I forgot I have to do this part. So this fight is super easy. The only thing about it that matters is whether he shoots these yellow orbs at you that you can reflect back, or this like they're called blue balls, which I'm sure you'll find amusing. But it's like 6 blue balls that spin around and then sort of fracture when you hit it. So far we've gotten perfect luck. Every blue ball that he spits, every blue ball that he shoots at you costs you several seconds. Wow, perfect Aghanim luck. There's something like I don't know, like I think a less than 10% chance to get 0 blue balls. Anyway, so we sort of kill him, but then he's like, haha, fucker, I'm taking you to the dark world. Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that. Fine. God, that does 2 damage? So these are the real Viking helmets on the weird pig guards. So in the Dark World, a lot of the enemies are like sort of horror versions of the Light World enemies. Um, so I don't know if you saw like the pig looking guards. So here's a monkey we have to pay, by the way. He's a little cute. But those pig guards have kind of Viking-y helmets on too. Yeah, dude, Aghanim is definitely an incel. Please. Okay. It's fine. Sometimes that blue jellyfish gets in your way, and you just, like, can't jump down that little hole. I thought he was going to block me there, but then he was nice. Pick it up, please. Ugh, fine. Yes. All right. So coming up here is one of the harder tricks in the game, where I have to explode myself across a gap into a railing. I gotta open that chest before I go dashing anywhere. Oh my god. And I got my path totally mixed up, and I'm killing myself, and this is all a disaster. Oh my gosh. I'm not. The second time you go through there, you're supposed to hit that switch and put the pigs down, but not the first time. So it's very possible that I'm going to die here, because if I mess up this trick, then I'm going to mess this trick up. I don't have time anymore to even try it, really. I don't even know how to recover from this. Whatever. Will you give me a heart, maybe? Okay. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, second try, I'll take it. Also, I don't know what that Japanese text really says, but you pick up a hammer and it says MC in it, which is pretty funny. am I down to 3 arrows? I guess I wasted 2 hitting that switch twice without thinking. I'll even take this. So you shoot the teddy bear and he, I don't know, slides a huge wall to the side for you. There's a couple of these places in the game. I guess we did one already in Desert, where you do some arbitrary thing. You light some torches, or in this case, shoot what looks to me like a teddy bear. And like a huge, gigantic wall. I mean, that much wall has to weigh like 30 tons. Like, what is the mechanism? Okay. Could have gone worse. Oh my gosh. So that turtle, in that room a few, like, directly north of there, where I come down the stairs into, if you get unlucky and you, like, flip the turtle... Hold on, I'll explain it after this. Whew. Okay. So if you flip that turtle onto the blocks, like you hit the switch again while the turtle is on the blocks, it will like get confused and walk south through the wall. And like there's not supposed to be any enemies in that room. So you're just like walking along your way, not really looking out for anything, and then this turtle effectively teleported through the wall and shows up to beat you up, and it is terrifying. Scorpio sees... Oh, you mean, yeah, he does have kind of a scorpion tail. I never really thought about that. He's also had, like, a masquerade ball or something. With the mask. The way of the hero lead to the Triforce. Ugh. Oh, that bird scares me so much. Okay. So, we get to meet a little boy who turns into a tree. But he's friends with the forest animals, so you get to... This is the last time I think you get to see cute animals. So this guy's like, I lost my flute. It's the only thing that brings me joy. And you're like, okay, cool. I'll dig up this forest for you. And play the flute. But you don't have to actually play the flute for him or anything. See? Now he turns into a tree. He turns into a tree in the dark world, though. He's not a tree in the light world. He just disappears. What kids? Scorpios? Or the kid whose flute I stole? I guess you probably mean the kid whose flute I stole. No, we just used a flute to free this duck from its weathervane prison. And then he rewards us by teleporting us around the map. And now I give this witch a mushroom that I found. And in return, her assistant or sister or something gives me magic powder. So magic powder can be used to transform various enemies in various ways. Some of which are pretty funny, but the only real use that we have for it is turning red, scary bad guys called anti-fairies into just regular fairies, which refill our hearts. Okay. Which is very helpful. So this is the Dark World version of where our bird friend lived, and for some reason it's a evil dungeon. I don't know why they're in the same spot. There's no real connection between them. The Light and Dark World stuff has a lot of connections between it, but in this case they're just like both significant, and there's no like bird theme to this dungeon or anything. Oh, nice. Well, I mean, the first dungeon is just like the castle. It's a good dungeon except for, like, it's the good guys' dungeon except that the bad guys sort of corrupted it. It's not like full of evil, it's just been co-opted by evil. But yes, I take your point. Get out of my way. So we need to open that hole in the attic because, well, you'll see in a minute. So we're on our way down here. So this actually mirrors the structure of the first dungeon, or the first area, whatever. And that we come down to this dungeon and we have to save a little girl. In this case, it is a sort of a young girl. I think she's just called like the maiden or something in the vanilla game, in the English game. But we don't really know anything about her, right? Like, we didn't come here because we thought that we were going to save a maiden. There just sort of is one hanging around in a dungeon, and we're like, cool, come with me. I got you. Link at no point thinks like, this is the only human-shaped thing in the entire Dark World where all of the other humans have been turned into, like, pigs and shit like that. He's just like, cool, damsel in distress, come with me, I got you. Get out of my way. And then it turns out that she is very photosensitive. Actually, I'm going to do this stupid thing even though it wastes time because it's funny. So if you pause, also I screwed this fight up really badly, and now I'm gonna die in just like 100 hours. Um, if you pause at the right time while Blind is transforming into her demon form, this happens to the color palette. Yeah, and then I kill myself. So that was a gigantic wasting time. And the fight is way, way harder if you have to come back to it than if you can kill her when you drop her off. It was fun, yeah. It looks really cool, but it makes it way harder and throws off your timing for the start of the fight. Whew. Okay. So that probably costs, I don't know, 45 seconds? Maybe a minute? Yeah, looks like about a minute. Oops. So here's where we start robbing people's money. That's a shop in the light world, and in the dark world it's just an empty cellar with $300. The reason we need to steal all this money, of course, is to pay a gigantic fish for flippers. The logic is just inevitable. So we drop off this dwarf. They're making something there, kind of looks like a baguette. And then he's like, hey man, thanks for rescuing me from being a weird goblin thing in the dark world. If you give me $10, I'll take your sword and make it even stronger. Which is a good deal. I don't have a bit for this part for why they steal our sword and then I get a better one back, like I do for the beginning. And then here's another house that we steal some money from. We're really, like we know we're the good guys, right? We're hunting the primeval and trying to prevent the light world from becoming corrupted by the ultimate evil. But like from an outside view, it kind of looks like we're running around slaughtering indiscriminately and stealing from civilians. No, I don't have no. I said I don't have a bit for that part for the dwarf, the swordsmiths. I have the bit for the beginning where we're capturing the princess, which I think is pretty funny, but I need to come up with something for that part. Okay, this is all going to hell. Whatever. Okay. If you can come up with a good bit for the swordsmiths, let me know. Oh. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. Where is the nearest? Do I have to do this vanilla? I honestly don't know what the backup is there if I die. Because you're not, like I said earlier, you're not allowed to kill yourself on purpose. I guess you have to do it this way? Okay. Why is it hard? It's probably still faster to do this. Wait for that cutscene. Seriously? I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now. I was gonna go down and do the bomb jump, but then they stole more of my hearts. This is a fucking ridiculous. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it the way you're supposed to do it because then I'll be down a bomb and I don't know where bombs are besides the ones I'm supposed to. Okay, there's a bomb. Okay. Oh my god. So this split's a disaster. Ever? I'm sorry, I don't remember what you're asking. Oh, no, it's not the dumbest thing I've ever done. It's probably the dumbest way I've ever failed that particular thing I was trying to do, though. Out of my way. Out of my way. Ugh, too slow. Oh my god, I'm already losing time. I haven't even made it to the boss. Okay. I need this pot. Please. Thank you. I realized as I was saying that it sounds pretty funny. I was thinking about getting some pot this weekend. Just because I didn't really have anything to do. But I find that, like, when I smoke, like, half the time I'm like, hell yeah, this is chill. And half the time I'm like, this sucks. And my heart is racing and I'm paranoid. So I tend to avoid it. I do think Mothfield is cool. Do you live in a place where you can just like buy it? I mean, I live in San Francisco, so I can just like go down to the store and buy some if I want it, which is super convenient. That sounds fun. Whatever. Messed up the thing. Yeah, I suspect a lot of people are in that position where like they've known somebody who they buy weed from for a long time, and so it doesn't really matter if it's legal or not. They're just gonna still buy from their friend. In California, in California for a long time, like when I moved here, you had to have like a recreational, so not a recreational, what's it called, medical. So medical was legal, but recreational was not. So you had to get like a ID, basically an ID card. Hell yeah, support your neighborhood, support small businesses or local drug dealers or whatever. When I moved here, you had to get like an ID card. Basically, it's like a medical card that says yes, you're allowed to sell pot to this guy, and then you could go to a dispensary and buy it. And getting a medical card was so funny. So you look up like, how do I get a medical card? And what you get is ads for clinics where they're like, come in, come in 15-minute appointment, get your medical card. They're not even trying to hide it. And you show up and you talk to a doctor, and it has to actually be a doctor. So like I go in and I talk to this woman, and she's like, why do you need, or like why should you get medical marijuana? And I'm like, okay, so I am like the case, like why a person should get medical marijuana, right? Like I have clinically diagnosed anxiety and depression. Like I've been on medication for these things before. I have chronic pain. I have trouble sleeping. Like I have all of the textbook reasons why medical marijuana would actually, like I'm actually a totally legitimate patient for it. And so like I start saying some of this, and she just like shuts me up and is like, you have trouble sleeping sometimes? You struggle with anxiety? All right, here's your card. Like she wasn't even listening to what I was saying. Clearly it's just like anybody who goes in, because the doctor saw this opportunity. They were like, okay, the government doesn't give a shit, they're making us jump through these hoops. I can just charge $80 for a $15 an appointment and just sell medical marijuana cards that nobody cares that it's all made up. And so then like 3 or 4 years after that, it was just finally totally legal recreationally. All you have to do now is show up at the store with an ID saying you're 21 years old, and they just sell it to you. Yeah, yeah. I have no idea how it worked anywhere else, but it's such a joke here. Is Canada fully legal now? Fully recreationally legal? I feel like I probably saw you tweeting about that actually. Gonna do one pop here. Oh my god, get out! This sucks. Whew. Oh wow. Yeah, you can't do that here because it's not legal in all the states, and so airports don't really want you carrying it. But also, I don't know how Canada's security is, but the idiot. But the TSA is a largely malicious organization that exists mostly to harass citizens who are trying to fly, and so they'll fuck you up. They'll bust you for anything, including totally legal pot. Yeah, I mean, not just internationally. Like we can't fly nationally with it between states, because like they won't let you take it on the airplane because if I'm going home to see my family in Virginia, it's just like yeah. So is it like nationally legal in Canada, or is it on a province by province basis? Whole nation, nice. It's still, of course, federally illegal here and legal in several states, which is silly. Uh, 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 this is going very badly. Whew. His name is Cold Stare. So yeah, pretty much iCloud. Or IceCloud. IceCloud I. Find my iCloud. Find my Cold Stare. Where am I going? Oh, Swamp, right. uh, Hi, Onyx. That's one of your cats, right? I don't remember the other one's name. Rudy. How dare I? Put food in the microwave and forgot to push buttons. I have absolutely done that before. My cat's name is Micah, like the rock. He is sort of a tuxedo cat, but mostly black. Um, but he's got like little white flecks all over him, so he looks a remarkable amount like actual Micah. I love him too. Just walk into the fireball, why don't I? Too low. That's not supposed to get in my way. I think I have to find the laser pointer after I kill this boss so I can make my cat run around. Although maybe that's not what his... Now he's walking over here. I don't know what he wants. He's looking at me like he wants to chase a toy around. But sometimes his body language is deceiving. Jerk. Ah! The hookshot is my favorite item in this game, casually. Like, when I played it as a kid, I just love the hookshot. It's so cool. Oops. It's like this dope movement tool, like, lets you jump over, like, float over gaps, basically. Lets you stun some enemies. It's just a cool thing. He probably wants to eat my face a little bit, but he'll restrain himself. Alright, Argus, you're going down. Eventually. No! No! Oh, it's gonna cost me a whole cycle, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. Alright, he did want to run around after the laser pointer. He is bounding like a lamb, like a ram, like a deer. Yeah, there's a big eyeball theme, for sure. There's the Igors that you have to shoot in the eye. Oh shit. Okay. Oops, that's not great. There's the teddy bear that you have to shoot to get it to open the thing. You gotta shoot that in the eyeball too. I don't know what's with the eyeballs in this game, but there's definitely a lot of them. There's whatever they're called, the jumpy spidery blue things. Also have one gigantic eyeball. That's the whole thing. That looks more like a guy who has like just got eye drop, like eye surgery done or something. But I guess he could be one-eyed. I'm gonna get this. Nope. I will get a safety bomb from the slugs. Alright. So this is, in my opinion, sort of a turning point in the game, or in the run. We've pretty much collected everything we're going to collect, except for one dungeon item from in here, and the rest on out is really just a small amount of climbing a mountain, and then really just trying to blaze our way through these dungeons, which I think is pretty fun. There's no real distractions, just murder. And bonking. This dungeon also introduces Wizrobes, which are these little guys that disappear and then shoot these beams at you. And they're interesting, not so much in their own right, but because in the first Zelda game, they were horrifying. They were the hardest monsters in the game. They had 1,000,000 life. They moved super erratically. The beams did a ton of damage. They were nightmare enemies. And then in this game, they toned them down so much. So now they just stand in one place and shoot one beam at you and take one hit from pretty much anything. They went a little too far. Oops, yeah, I forgot about that guy. They're a little bit too far on toning them down. They were like way too strong in Zelda 1, but they're honestly probably too nothing in this game. Alright, I'm gonna get a safety bomb for one of these guys. Why can't I move? What is going on? What? That was very weird. That wall just, I was like getting pushed into the wall and I couldn't move up. I don't know what just happened. I'm gonna take this real greedy. Not try to get any hard refills. Which means I need to go around this way. Until right at the end. I'll have to get one, but I think I can get through the rest. No, I cannot. Okay, I have to take this guy. And now I don't know if I have my setup for my trick later. Yep, no, I have no secret microphone in your home, I promise. Definitely not surveilling anyone. Please. best way to do this? So I picked up the bomb earlier because there's a trick you can do here that allows you to skip this whole room and stuff. But I wasn't sure if I was going to get here with the... I wasn't sure if it was going to work. And it didn't, so it's a good thing I picked up the bomb. Well, I can't, so I'll have to take your word for it. Okay, this is really bad now. I can't believe I let that guy own me that hard. Yeah. Okay. So you can technically kill that guy and do that fast strat while only taking 4 damage, and it would have been fine, but I am not the one who can do it that well. Where do I go? Oh, I can just go this way, this is fine. There's plenty of magic on the way. So I don't have to hit this switch this time. I think that's the fastest way to hit that. I don't really know. That, in fact, is a perfect fight. If I had done that last time... I would have been perfectly fine, even with my low heart count. But I didn't. Right? So many eyes. I know, it's so many eyes. I don't think any of the remaining bosses are eye-based. Chinex he has 3 heads, but they all have normal amounts of eyes. We do have to refight the Light World bosses, and Moldorm is a little eyesy. He's only got 2 of them, but they're weird. Yeah, no, your account would make a great Zelda boss. Although it also, so I don't know if you did this on purpose, but obviously I have her like a person who has eyes, but it also kind of sounds like I have her. Ugh. Again, I don't know if that was like a pun or just luck. Okay. Okay. Yeah, like I have her. I got her. Pure talent. You're a poet, and you didn't know it. I mean, I guess unless you did know it. But at least in this case, it was accidental. Alright, so now we blow this turtle's head open. Ah, my cords are all tangled. So, I have a lot of problems in this dungeon. I'm not supposed to switch yet. Well, you got multiple meanings anyway. That was terrible. This room is so hard to do right. Yeah, I didn't do it. I practiced this, just doing this over and over again for like maybe an hour yesterday. Still can only get it like a third of the time, a quarter of the time. Super, super hard. Also, now I have almost no hearts, and I am definitely going to die in the Chain Chomp room. One of the weird things about this game, and actually a bunch of Zelda games, is that for no... With no explanation, they just, like, have random Zelda stuff in them. Or Mario... Yeah, walked right into them. Random Mario stuff in them. So, like, there's just Chain Chomps in this game. They're not part of Zelda. They're part of Mario. I have no idea what they're doing in here. Except for, you know, killing me. There's also a painting of Mario. Someone's house just has a painting of Mario in it. Weird game. You dick. Okay. Ugh. I think I'm gonna get the arrows. Oh, I want this. Okay. A fairy and a full magic. Pretty nice. Nope. Ah. Okay. Where are you going? Okay. Okay. This should be smooth sailing for the rest of this dungeon, I think. Unless I let Trinex get away from me, and then he might murder me. I have the wrong thing equipped. Still have the wrong thing equipped. Wow, good work. So we're probably about... Probably about 3 minutes behind. So if I don't die here, I probably will make up pretty much all that time save. That one death was... I mean, obviously you never want to die, but it was far from the most time-consuming death. So all I need to do is go clean, try next fight. Also, I love that strat where you send off the two beams going north and west, and the north one hits the switch right before you go over those blocks, and then the west one hits the other switch right before you go over the next set of blocks. I think it's so cool that that works out. Okay. Not bad. Not perfect, but not bad. Ah. Okay. Alright. Alright. Now all we have to do is the very long, very dangerous final dungeon. I'm glad you like it. It's one of those tricks where the first time I saw it, it like blew my mind. And then I like tried to do it, and it's actually not that hard if you just like put the block kind of right. But it looks like it's visually really pleasing, even if it's not particularly difficult to do correctly. So now that we have the 7 crystals, which were imprisoning 7 maidens who were like... I don't remember the exact lore. But once you have all of them freed, they can use their powers combined to break the seal on Ganon's Tower, which we'll see in just a second. So this is all glowy and like, don't come in. And then the 7 maidens are like, we got you. We got you, bae. It's always vaguely... Wow. Good work. And... already falling apart. I don't know why I picked that up. It's always vaguely frustrating to me how you really want the Hawkshot equipped for basically this whole initial left side, but you have to switch off of it a couple times for like a second. I don't know the correct movement through here. Oops. My 7 girlfriends. Oh yeah. Check out my girlfriend and my other girlfriend. I don't think it's true in this game, but later in the series, I'm supposed to throw that bomb way faster. I'm gonna just powder this fucker. Later on in the game, it becomes sort of a running joke that the female characters in the game get like pretty rowdy. They like talk about how hot Link is kind of a lot, and he's just like sort of canonically non-responsive to it. Like he never like indicates anything. He usually doesn't talk that much in the game, but he doesn't even sometimes he doesn't even like react or blush or anything. But like the women in Hyrule are like definitely horny for Link. Probably not the 7, maidens who are saving everyone with their powerful magic, but like the lots of the women are. I actually think it's kind of annoying, but it is a recurring joke. Oops. Nice. This is going badly. Okay. How scared am I? Am I safety room scared? I don't think I'm that scared. I mean, Link is a hottie, right? I mean, he's got that, like... I mean, he's kind of an elf. He's got this, like, very feminine sort of aesthetic while being powerful and heroic. Like, I get it. Like, Link is definitely crush-worthy. I just think it adds nothing to the games and makes them sort of vaguely uncomfortable. But as a person in the real world, like I think he's a pretty reasonable fictional character to crush on. I mean, I have my doubts about the overall healthiness of crushing on fictional characters, but like if you accept that that's a thing you're comfortable with, I think that Link is absolutely a reasonable choice. Whew. Wow, missing every single shot. I have to stop using it now. I need that magic. Are you calling me a slut, or are you calling Link a slut? Your first crush was Bugs Bunny. I don't know who my first crush was. I mean, I know who my first, like, actual real-life human crush was. I'm not sure who my first fake crush was. Oh my god. Hey. Was it Bugs Bunny, like, as himself, or as one of the characters? Was it just, like, Bugs Bunny? Or was it, like, a detective? Doesn't he play, like, a detective or something a bunch of times? I don't know, I feel like he was in costume a lot. Just regular Bugs Bunny? Alright, fair enough. That sucks. Okay. Wes? Terrible fight. I guess I can see the Bugs Bunny thing. I mean, one of his things is this like sort of supreme confidence. Like he's got some charisma. He's always getting into stuff. I don't know. He's a cool guy. Nice. Wow, good patterns. Not this one so much. Oh my gosh, got double. He is, yeah, exactly, right? He is clever and resourceful and has a good sense of humor. Although his sense of humor actually is cruel. He's really cruel. The legs for days things I honestly cannot say that I find appealing. But, you know, if that works for you, that works for you. All right, all right. Too early, too early. It's all gone to shit now. Okay, okay, okay. All I have to do is survive. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Fuck. Okay. East joke. I make a joke with you. Wow, I practiced this so much yesterday, but I guess one day of practice is insufficient. Which is not surprising. But I did not expect to fail twice in a row, honestly. No. Oh my gosh. I think that was enough, but whatever. Okay. I think as long as I'm careful, there shouldn't be any problem from here on out. The rest of this fight is much easier than the first two phases. And I'll use relatively safe strats too. I'm not going to try for fire rod stuff. Maybe I will, actually, until I get to like half magic. Oh my gosh, it's so tempting. You could get a free hit there, but if you miss it, it's so bad. So I'm just not going to try. Bad timing. Whew, close. Thought that would hit. Okay, I'm going to switch to lamp because... Oh, never mind. Got him. Okay. Is that 144.20 or something? That's totally valid.